It's been nearly 5 decades since 2 car bombs killed 6 Coloradans in Boulder, and to this day, nobody's been charged in the bombings.
Denver 7's Angelica Albaladejo shows us how the legacy of Los Seis de Boulder lives on nearly 50 years later.
Nestled at the foot of the Flatirons, tucked between cottages and hiking trails, Boulder's Chautauqua Park is known for its beauty. But this picturesque place was also the scene of an explosion that shook Boulder, killing 6 and leaving a community in turmoil.
Why didn't this get the attention it needed? Why wasn't this investigated appropriately? Why wasn't there resolution? Why did things seem to disappear? Why was there not follow-up?
A car exploded, and then another. It all happened within 48 hours in May 1974. The bombs took the lives of Niva Romero, Yuna Jacola, Reyes Martinez, Heriberto Terran, Francisco Doherty, and Florencio Granado. Los Seis de Boulder. Federal and local law enforcement agencies investigated, but no one was ever charged.
The mystery and the unsolved nature of it has a draw, but I think it's much bigger than that. I think it's a reflection of the work that was being done.
The young people who died were part of a student movement on the CU Boulder campus, fighting to open the doors to education for Mexican Americans, also known as Chicanos.
A lot of people don't know that Colorado was really a hotbed of Chicano activism, on par with places in Texas and Los Angeles.
When the bombs went off,
And it was such a traumatic event, and as a Chicano community, we still carry that with us. We carry a real desire to understand that moment in history, and because it shaped us, and it continues to shape us.
Almost 50 years later, family, friends, historians, archivists, and CU Boulder students are finding ways to retell the story and keep the fight for equity alive.
We die when we lose our bodies. We also die when people forget about us.
When I work with students and I bring this material out to them, being able to touch their own history and interact with it in a tangible way means so much more than when you're looking at something on a computer screen.
Boxes filled with newspapers, banners, and handwritten notes tell the story.
CU Boulder was one of the epicenters of the Chicano movement in Colorado, which is a really important history that has not until recent years been well documented and well explored.
In the years before the bombs went off, the student group known as UMAS, United Mexican American Students, was protesting and occupying campus buildings to demand financial aid and higher enrollment of Chicanos.
The community now sees the 6 who died as what they call symbols of resistance.
Those symbols of resistance include more than the 6 who died in the car bombings. A 7th man, Antonio Alcantar, survived but was badly injured, and other Chicano activists also lost their lives to violence in the years before and after. At the History Colorado Center in Denver, those lives and the part they played in shaping the state are on display.
It means so much. We have memorialized people who, in their pursuit of justice, were tenacious.
Nikki Gonzalez was Colorado's first Latina state historian. She helped put this exhibit together.
For later generations to look at these panels and to see, leaders from their own community is a great inspiration for continued movements for educational access, equity.
But apart from inspiration, the story of Los Seis also reveals the stark reality of discrimination and violence that sought to silence the movement.
Los Seis, the 2 car bombings, really represent a moment when people just kind of became very insular, and there was a lot of fear in the community.
But that fear and pain hasn't stopped Coloradans from remembering what those activists stood for.
Yuna and her friends were very committed to higher education and higher education for everyone. So many of the efforts that my sister and her friends and colleagues were involved in are the efforts that we still need to be involved with today.
Reporting from Boulder and Denver, I'm Angelica Albaladejo, Denver 7.
And Angelica has a series of stories covering the tragedy in Boulder, and you can watch Denver 7 News at 10 tomorrow night to hear from the families of those who died and how they are finding ways to honor them.